Hello and welcome to episode 10 of DataCube's free online training course. Today is all about bookmark basics. We'll be creating selections, we'll be creating bookmarks, and we'll be assigning those to actions. We'll be doing those in a few different ways, whether we create a button or create an image. These are great ways of controlling and adding an extra dimension to your workbooks and your reports. It allows, at this basic level, to be doing navigation through and around your report in a much more professional way and slicker way than using the sheet tabs at the bottom. The learnings from this will be built on in next week's episode, where we talk about advanced bookmarks, where we create some more fancy things. So stay tuned for that. Let's crack on with episode 10. Okay, we're back in Power BI. Now let's start by have a little overview of what selections, bookmarks and actions actually are. So let's make a new sheet. This is a blank one. I'm going to go up to view, and the things we're talking about, well, two of them are here straight away. So let's click on selection and bookmark. Let's open up these panes. Now you can see in selection this page is empty. Bookmarks. Now we've got a little title for this one. Use bookmarks to capture key data for yourself and others. Filter data to get to the state you want to capture. Click add. So that's how we start. But let's build something on here first. So let's perhaps make a line chart. There we go. We're still plugged into that old grocery shop data. So let's put some sales in. And let's have a look at this over time. And let's put that as a date. So we've got some sort of axes going on. Right, now you see it's all automatically formatted like our theme that we imported the other day. I'm going to just format this and make it a bit bigger. So let's put it out 100 by 100, and then maybe let's go full width by 300. I'll ratio that. I'm going to turn off the title. Now, first thing you can see is straight away in our selection pane we have a selection, and it says sales by date. You can change what that says by double clicking. So let's call this line chart sales. Okay. Now how about I make another one? Pop that below, and I'm going to make that bar chart. Now straight away we can see that when you copy and paste, it has duplicated both the name of the selections. So this one here is line chart sales, and this one here is bar chart sales. So let's double click and change the name of that, bar chart sales. So we now have two, and what you'll notice if I overlap them, the selection is a bit like layers in Adobe software, so it has a hierarchy to it. So bar chart sales is at the top, so it takes precedence. So if I swap that over and click off, you can see the line chart is now on top. I'll do that again. So if I move line chart underneath, then the bar chart stays on top. So that's something to be aware of, and we can also utilize that functionality if we want things to be layered. So let's keep line chart at the top because it's above it in the workbook. It seems logical. So we now have a couple of items in our selection pane. Now the next step is to be looking at bookmarks. So bookmarks basically take a snapshot view of your selections. Now in the selections bar you can see we have this little icon here which says hide this visual. Next to it is group. So we're going to come on to those three dots next week. So let's concentrate on the first step here. So if I press this, my visual is now hidden. Now it still exists within this sheet. That's something I should mention, is that within each sheet you have different selection and bookmark panes. So in our current sheet, which is at the end here, page 2, we have this selection with two items in the selection pane, and we've hidden them both, but we can unhide them. So the next thing that I wanted to speak about is to create a bookmark. So let's add a bookmark and call bookmark. Let's just call it page 2 default, because this is the view that we're looking at. I'm going to add another one and call it page 2 hidden as concept. Now I've added 2 bookmarks, and you can see these 3 dots here. Now the only thing I'm going to concentrate on today is the update functionality here. I'm going to ignore where all these ticks are, the data visual, current page, all visuals, set visuals. So let's press update on this bookmark, and for hidden I'm going to hide these 2, and I'm going to update this bookmark. So now if I click on page 2 default, we can see our line chart on our bar chart, and if I click on hidden, they disappear because we've told them to be hidden. So, and saved that by updating and creating this bookmark. So I can toggle between these 2. Now that's the basic principles of what bookmarks and selections do, but we can utilize them further with something called actions. So I'm going to select both these and just move them to the side a second, and we want to click on the insert tab. Now on the insert tab we have a few options here under elements, text box, buttons, shapes and image. Now what I want to be talking about is actions. So if I click on a text box, you can see under the visualization pane I don't have an option for actions. If I click on buttons, however, I do. Now right now I'm going to use this left arrow, and this can be changed, and what I'm going to do is just pop it somewhere you can see it. I'm going to add some text, and we're going to say to dashboard, and I'm going to boost that up a bit, and you can see here how we can now change that icon anyway if we wanted to. And I'm going to go down to general and just make this a bit bigger, so let's go 200 so it all fits in, and maybe 60 to make it a bit bigger. Right, so to dashboard, what I want to do and what I'm intending to do is make this a button which navigates using selection and bookmarks to our dashboard page. So the first thing I need to do, and as you can see now our selections are updated because we're on page 1. So if we go back to page 2, our selections have changed, and our bookmarks stay present. So I'm going to add a bookmark on here, and I'm going to call it dashboard default, and I'm happy with how that is in its default state. Actually we can leave that on, and let's update that. So now if I click on page 2 default, I'm transported to default, page 2 hidden, and dashboard default. And I'm going to copy this button I made and place it in the overview dashboard and move it down the bottom, and we're going to change the icon to a right arrow, and I'm going to turn off the background. Now we can't really read it, so let's go to button text. I'm going to make that just off-white. There we go. Nice. And I think I need to update that icon to the same color. Great. So it doesn't look the best, but it's good for demonstration purposes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to page 2, click on my button, and go to action. Now I need to turn this on, and we're presented with a few options here. So the first one is type. Now we have a few options here, but what we're concentrating today is those selections, bookmarks and actions. So I'm going to utilize bookmark here, and now we're given a few extra options. One is bookmarks, so if I click on this I can say I want this button to have an action of a bookmark that is utilizing the dashboard default bookmark we've created. So if I click on that, now in Power BI Desktop to use a button, you have to hold down Control to press. Once you've published your reports up into the app, you don't have to do that. So let's hold down Control, and it's pressed to dashboard, and it's taken us to our dashboard by utilizing that bookmark. Now you can see that that's grayed out and selected. Now that we've been transported back to our dashboard, we can set up this button that's on the dashboard. Now at the moment it says to dashboard, so let's change that and just say we want to go to page 2. Great. To page 2. Like that. Now I can click on this, and we're going to go back to action again, turn it on, and we're going to utilize bookmark, and I want to go to page 2 default. It's okay, so again we're going to hold Control on our keyboard, we're going to press to page 2, and straight away to utilize that, so I can Control and click, back to the dashboard, Control and click, back to page 2. Success. Now this opens up huge options for us analysts or developers or users of Power BI to use selection bookmarks and actions for a variety of things. Now let's choose different examples. So maybe we'll have a shape, we'll just have an oval. Let's pop that there. Now that's massive, but that's fine. And you'll see when you click on that, you can also enable an action here. So let's put that as bookmark and say we want page 2 hidden, and you can also import an image. So these are a few I made. So this is a data cube chart icon I made. Also imports huge. Obviously you can change the size in general, but let's leave them big for now. And my action on this one is going to be a bookmark, and let's choose page 2 default. Now right click on the circle, it's hidden on the charts at the back. So we can already see how this is a great way we can use the same sheet to control what we're seeing by different buttons. So if you wanted to have a table, you could have that selected when we press this button, or charts over here like this. So that's a wrap on episode 10, Bookmark Basics. We've learnt about selections, bookmarks and actions. We know we can use them on buttons, shapes and images. We've learnt how to save our bookmarks and how to choose the hierarchy of our selection panel. We've also learnt, finally, most importantly, well not most importantly, very importantly, that to use and utilize these buttons within the desktop application, we must hold down Control to use our bookmarks, actions and selections. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you found that really useful. I know this is something I find so useful in Power BI. So thank you very much. Next week we're going to be talking about advanced bookmarks, where we're going to build on the things we've learned here. So make sure you tune in for that next week. Thank you very much.